HiJacker Mike with the Nation's Corner and Big Time Wrestling Staff. We're here to preview September 30th, Friday's anniversary show, the 26th anniversary.
Big one.
I am here with none other, new sensation on the scene, Big Fonz, the EOC.
What's happening?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Can't complain.
Tell them, before we get into it, tell them, EOC. Some folks may not.
The EOC. So I'm Big Fonz. Been Big Fonz my entire life. And some of you probably know, the Fonz was a pretty cool guy on that show, Happy Days, right? So that's kind of the epitome of the gimmick, or the epitome of cool. That's what I do.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, well, let's get into it, my man. Wrestling. What got you into it? What started you with wrestling? Why did you want to get in the ring?
Yeah, so, I mean, just like most of us that get in the ring, I think most of us were fans at one time. You know, I was a fan when I was a kid, and then I think the way I talk about my love of wrestling is like I fall in and out of love with wrestling. Like, Attitude Era, Monday Night Wars really got me into wrestling, and then, I don't know, I just kind of fell out of it for a while. When I got to college, I had friends that were into it. I got right back into wrestling, and then I got married, and you know, I kind of just got out of wrestling again, stopped watching it. I don't think my wife was a big fan of it. So, and then 2020 happened, the world shuts down,
Yes.
and all I did was go to the gym and watch sports, and all that stuff got taken away from me because you couldn't go to the gym and you couldn't watch sports. All the leagues shut down. So I just put a gym in my garage and got the WWE Network back. All I did all day was watch wrestling and work out. And at some point, honestly, dude, I was just like, maybe I could do this.
Yeah.
So I hit up Kirk White. That was September of 2020.
Okay.
He let me know that the school may be reopening soon and that I should come down to the school and check it out. That same week, my work called me and said, hey, we gotta go back to work. First time in like 6 months.
Okay.
So I was like, I felt really bad. And I was like, I don't think I can take on both of these things at the same time. So it's September 2020. Fast forward like 6 months, June of 2021, early June of 2021 or end of May. And I go to my local gym. The gyms have reopened. So I go to my local gym and somebody taps me on the shoulder right when I walk in the gym and says, hey, did I steal your bench? And I was like, I turned around and I was like, no, you didn't. But I was familiar, I knew her face. And I was like, hey, you're Bailey, like from WWE, right? What are you doing here? And she was in town for something, and you know, I was like, hey, you know, I thought about training for wrestling. And you trained with Kirk, right? Or that's where you started.
Yes. Yes.
She put Kirk over, and she was super down to earth, and she's super inspiring. That, you know, she did it the way that she did, you know, all the right ways. She's a role model for me, and I hope for my daughter one day. And yeah, I mean, after leaving the gym that day, I felt like it was meant to be. Like that was a sign.
Yeah.
So I hit up Kirk. I was training the next day. I've been training now for, what is it? A little over a year and a half, almost a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Now, with that in mind, some of your videos you post of your training regimen, you go balls to the wall in some of your videos I've seen on Twitter and on Facebook with your training. Tell the fans a little bit about your training style and ethics and overall well-being with what you do.
I think that mentality I have to take from one of my other idols, The Rock. You know, he's yes, exactly. And he's the hardest worker in the room. He puts it all over his shirts. I think that's, you know, to me, burning the midnight oil, you know, doing it anytime, any hour of the day, finding time to get it all done consistently, that dedication. I've had that in my life in different facets, but now being able to focus it all on wrestling and doing it literally the way he did it, you know, this like embodying some of the stuff that he does in the ring, being able to do that, you know, and then be a role model to other people, because I'm involved, you know, in speaking at schools and other endeavors that I'm a part of. Yeah. So yeah, man, I call it raw steel. You know, that's part of my gimmick too, is being big and bad, right?
There you go.
So raw steel is not a gimmick, it's a lifestyle.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. Now, December 2021 was a tough month for all of us here at BTW. But all of us that knew Kirk White knew that guy gave his blood, sweat, tears, and years to this industry and this business. It's great to see what his wife and daughter are doing to keep his legacy alive. What does his legacy mean to you? The EOC.
Everything.
The epitome of cool.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, when I decided I wanted to train for professional wrestling the first time, it seemed kind of crazy to me. And it seemed crazy to my family. They were all nervous about it. I drove by the training facility one time when there were people there, and I just drove off because I just was like, I don't know about this. Nerves. I was nervous. Like I have a pretty good life, and I was gonna upset the apple cart of my life, and I knew it would change a lot of things, but my hope it was gonna change for the better. And the point is, when I actually stepped foot in the door, like I knew that Kirk, like, was the guy. Like that's who I wanted to wrestle for, and I always said I would have been completely happy just wrestling for Kirk. You know, now circumstances have changed, and I've been able to wrestle a lot of other places. You know, but my BTW is and always will be my home, and it feels so good to be able to, you know, it's bittersweet too, because my first match was his tribute show.
Yes.
And so it was an amazing feeling, but it also, you know, some would say it was like a second funeral for Kirk, and he did so much for me in such a short amount of time. And so I think a lot of my career here on the indies, and, you know, if it ever goes anywhere, will be to just make him proud for what he could have seen or what he's seeing, you know, right now.
Oh, he's proud. I guarantee you, he's proud, man. You've done well. I met you when you first came in at the old school on Peralta, and you had the look. You had the look. I thought to myself, I was like, this dude could be the next Rock if he works hard enough, puts forth an effort into it, and kicks ass and takes names and throws them out the window.
Got a long way to go, but, you know, I'm continuing to work. You know, I train with the Puppet Masters Dojo here in Hayward. The best training in the Bay Area by far. It's a great place to be. You're gonna work your ass off. You're gonna have to come with it, but we will take care of you, and you're gonna learn a lot, and you're gonna be able to do some pretty badass stuff in the ring. And I'm getting better every single day being a part of Puppet Masters Dojo.
Cool. I was gonna ask you about that.
Yep.
So you like being a part of Puppet Masters Dojo. Tell me a little more about that experience working with Kirk and coming here. How similar do you feel in the ring between the two?
Well, it's the same exact thing. I mean, Puppet Masters Dojo, it's the BTW ring.
Yes.
So if you talk to Jekyll's, you know, he'll tell you that Kirk welcomed him with open arms, and that was the ring I started in, the ring we're sitting in now, and it's not necessarily the BTW school, but there's a really great partnership between the Freaks and BTW. And they've welcomed me with open arms and have taken me to the next level.
Man, look, Jinx scared the shit out of my kid a few years ago on the tricycle, so I know what you mean.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get into it. Lori Taylor, women running BTW.
Absolutely.
What do you think, how you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, they are, that tandem, the way, obviously they're very close, and some of the ideas that they've come with, it feels like they're sharing the same brain and excitement. And for me to be able to be a part of it and to bring my energy and work with them, like it's felt really good. I don't think anybody's ever gonna fill Kirk's shoes completely, but their goal has always been, as they've told me, to put on a Kirk White caliber show. And I think they're doing a fantastic job.
Oh, they're doing an excellent job. It feels like Kirk is there.
Right, and
it
he is.
Feels like a Kirk White BTW show.
Yes, sir.
And I couldn't be more proud of Taylor and Lori for what they have done in Kirk's shoes since he's passed.
Yep. And we have a great team, you know, that knew the essence of what Kirk loved, you know, and our goal to carry on, you know, a family show that Kirk always loved, that was telling stories, but still, you know, kicking ass in there, taking names, doing what we got to do, and putting the show over first. We're all trying to be selfless out there, working together. But Taylor and Lori are our leaders, and I think they're doing a great job.
Cool. All right. So let's get into a little bit of BTW 26. We're gonna have Chris Masters.
Yep.
We're gonna have Penta L0M.
Yes, Cero Miedo.
Yes.
Yep.
Your opponent, Carlito, which we'll get into in a minute, in the house, and then we'll have BTW superstars like Shane Cody, Kaka Main, the Freaks.
Yep.
How does it feel to be able to step in the ring with great local talent and talent that's been all over the world? What does that feel? How do you feel getting in the ring in the 26 and being in the locker room with such great names from both sides of the game?
I think the one thing that really drew me to Kirk White and to Big Time Wrestling, and now Kirk White's Big Time Wrestling, as we're calling it, was that he would bring in names. He would bring in guys that I watched on TV. I watched Carlito wrestle when I was a kid, and now I'm going to wrestle him. And I think that's a pretty big deal. Guys like Chris Masters as well. That was always cool to me to see that Kirk had the connections to be able to do that. And now seeing Taylor and Lori carry on that legacy is one thing. But I think the best part about Kirk White's Big Time Wrestling now is the group, the roster that we have now. All great workers, all great people, or not if you're Kakamang. Can't stand that guy. Whatever. But he can wrestle a little bit. But I think
just a little bit.
But I think the group that we got, the legend Hawkeye Shane Cody, everybody brings something a little bit different to the table. Everybody, has some respect for each other, which is important.
Okay. And you also wanted to talk about the meet and greet with the talent this upcoming show.
Definitely. Yeah. So, really unique opportunity to meet Pentagon Cero Miedo. They're doing a meet and greet. I think it's like $40 to get like a picture and a signature. I know my cousin's gonna do it. There are a lot of people who watch AEW in the Bay Area, and I've been handing out flyers and hearing from them that they're gonna be making it. So that's probably gonna sell out. So I would encourage it if you want to meet Penta to sign up and get to the meet and greet.
Okay. It's funny. At work, I got a couple of guys I work with in the county. They're wrestling fans, and I didn't get a chance to go to Raw because I had to work at my second job at a cigar lounge, and a buddy of mine brings in a flyer. And he's like, hey, have you heard of this company? And as soon as I look at it, I put my head down and shake, and I say, look at my wall behind me. He's like, what? I said, I've been working at that company for 8 years.
That was probably me that handed it to him.
So he said he got it inside at Raw. Hey.
Oh, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
We'll scratch that.
Yeah.
But no, he got the flyer at Raw.
Heck yeah.
So it was good to see it out there, and it was funny that somebody that's never been to, because he lives in San Jose, he's never been to Newark, he has a flyer, and he says, hey, you know anything about this? I said, yeah, I work there. Look at all my BTW posters in my cubicle. Because I have all my posters that I had signed over the years with everybody that's come through. All right.
Speaking of which, this show's going to sell out. So meet and greet or just general admission, second row, first row. Actually, first row sold out.
Yes.
My bad. But get your tickets ahead of time. BTWrestling.com.
BTWrestling.com, correct. All right, let's get into it. Caribbean cool versus the epitome of cool.
Indeed.
Carlito versus the Big Thorns.
That's right.
New guy on the block, the guy that's been around the block.
Yes, sir. You might have built the block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do if this guy comes to the ring with the apple in his hand? Because you know what happens when the apple is in the hand coming to the ring, bro.
According to what I've seen, he spits in the face of people who refuse to be cool. Clearly, he's got nothing to worry about here. Yeah. I am the epitome of cool. But yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of Carlito's work. I'm excited to get in the ring with him. I have a lot of respect for him as a talent, as a superstar, former WWE superstar. But I think what you're going to see there is two guys with a lot of machismo, oozing.
Definitely.
And I think it's going to be a war of attrition for who's cooler. And we all know who's going to come out on top. If it's a battle of who's cooler, come on down.
It's all good. It's all good. All right, well, we'll get ready to wrap this up. And last question for you here, Fonz. What's in the future for the EOC?
Got a lot coming up. So we got the BTW show. I've got a few more shows coming up here in the Bay Area. Don't want to talk about them now because we're here to talk about, Kirk White's show. But I'm just going to be training, getting better every single day, training all over the state, training every day of the week, whether it's in the gym, here at Puppet Masters Dojo. I'm also spending a little time at Knox Pro in LA with Rikishi.
Oh, nice.
All I want to do every single day is get better, and anyone who wants to give me an opportunity to perform for them, I'm open to it.
Cool. All right, well, let the fans know where they can reach out to you on social media.
Yeah, so at Big Fonz The EOC on Instagram, or at Big Fonz The EOC on Twitter, probably the two best ways to get a hold of me. And I've also got TikTok. I don't use it that much. You can find me on Facebook, Big Fonz The EOC, my Facebook page.
Sweet. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to come to the show September 30th, Friday night, bell time is at 7:30. Hit btwrestling.com or find Big Time Wrestling California on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. You can get your tickets by asking anyone on there or ordering online. But the ringside is unavailable. Front row is gone. This is HiJacker Mike, BTW Staff, and Nation Corner representative. Big Fonz, appreciate it, my man.
Appreciate you.
See you there, folks. We're out.